Good day, everybody. Today I'm going to be showing you how to play the game Uno Flip. This game came out in 2019 and it is not to be confused with the Uno Flip game that came out much earlier. Anyway, this is a two-sided deck, and I'll go ahead and show you the cards and everything. You have the light side to start with, and you have cards that are numbered 1 through 9, and you have 4 different colors. You've got blue, red, yellow, and green, and you also have some symbol cards here, which I'll talk about in a minute. And then you also have the dark side, which has 4 colors of its own. It's got orange, it's got purple, it's got pink, and it has got a teal color, along with some symbol cards of its own. Now, for those of you who have never played Uno, basically here's how it works. You're going to deal out 7 cards to everybody, and the person to the left of the dealer is going to start. And essentially what you're going to be trying to do is you're going to be trying to match cards in the discard pile, either by number, by color, or by symbol. So for example, you have a card in the discard pile that says yellow and it's your turn, and you happen to have a yellow card, you can go ahead and play it like that. If you happen to have a number card that is a different color but is the same number, you can play a card from your hand like that as well. And also, if you happen to have a symbol card that matches the symbol on there, you can play, say, a symbol like this of a different color. And of course, you can play it of the same color. But that's basically the gist of how the game works. And of course, you've got all of the number cards. And I'll go ahead and show you the different symbol cards over here. On the light side, there's some symbols that are different than the ones on the darker. Some of the cards on the dark side are actually nastier than the ones that are on the light side. Anyway, let's go ahead and show you. This is the skip card. Essentially what this is going to do, it is going to skip the player that goes after you and goes to the next player after him. This is the Uno Flip card, and if you manage to play this or somebody plays this, what's going to happen is the discard pile is going to get flipped over to the other side like this. The draw pile is going to get flipped over. And also, any cards that you happen to have in your hand, you're going to go ahead and start playing them on the other side like this. You also have a wild card, and if you have this, you can basically play this on any card, and you can simply change the color of it. You also have the Wild Draw 2 card. This works the same way as a Wild. The next person is going to have to draw 2 cards. Now, there is a little bit of a hitch with playing this type of a card. I cannot play this card if you already have a card of the same color that you can actually play. So for example, if you happen to have like a yellow card in your hand and this card, you have to play the yellow card first. Now of course you can try to sneak by and play this card, but somebody can challenge you, and of course if they end up winning the challenge, you're going to have to go ahead and draw the 2 cards from this card, and then you're going to have to draw a penalty of 2 more cards, so you would be drawing up to 4 cards. However, if the person that challenged you is wrong, then he would have to go and end up drawing 4 cards. You also have a draw 1 card. If you play this, the person who is next is going to simply draw 1 card. You also have the reverse card. What's going to happen in this case is if you play this card, the direction of play is going to change. So if you were playing clockwise, if you play this card, you'll go ahead and play counterclockwise. Now, if you're playing a 2-player game, the reverse card and the skip card are both going to allow you to play again. Okay, now we'll go ahead and show you the opposite here. Of course, you've got all the number cards here. And again, this is the flip card, so if you play this, the deck will go ahead and flip over to the light side. This card is a skip everyone card. Now what this card is going to do is, instead of skipping the player that is next, it's going to skip everybody and is going to go back to you. We already have the Wild Draw color card. Now with this one, the next player is going to have to keep drawing until he gets a color of your choosing. So if you play this card and you select purple, he's going to have to keep drawing until he gets a purple card. And on top of that, he's not going to be able to play. Now the same rule applies with this card as far as having to have not have a card of the same color that is in the discard pile. You can get challenged with this one as well. You have the reverse card. You also have the nasty draw 5 card, where you play it on someone, they're going to have to draw 5 cards. Of course, you have the regular wild card here. And those are all the special cards. You're going to deal out 7 cards to everybody, and then you'll go ahead and turn the first card up, and this is going to make the discard pile. Now, if it turns out that the first card that you turn up ends up being a certain one of the cards with the symbols, such as a +1, the person who starts is going to have to draw 1 and basically follow the penalties that go with this. So he would lose a turn. The same would go with the skip. That player would get skipped. If it was reversed, the play would start going the other direction. If it turned out that it was the +draw 2 card, you're going to return this to the deck and just simply draw another card. If the wild card is the first card up, the person to the left of the person starting will pick the color. Now, the instructions don't say anything about the flip cards if they're the first ones up there, so you can just use your best judgment on there. I would imagine that you would just simply flip the deck over in that case if that's the first card. So let's just go ahead and kind of give you an idea of how this works here. So let's say it's my turn. I've got a yellow 2, so I'll go ahead and play the yellow 2, and then it will simply go back to my opponent. And now my opponent's going to look to see what he has, and he has, let's just say he decides he's going to play the draw 1. So the third player is going to have to go ahead and draw 1 card like so, and he's going to lose his turn. So now it goes back to me, and let's just say I play the flip over here. So now everybody's going to go ahead and flip their decks over, and this is also going to flip over like so. And now it will go to player 2, and he is going to be on the dark side. And let's just say he decides he's going to go ahead and play the skip all card, so he plays it, and now it's going to go back to him since all the players are skipped. And let's say he decides to play a draw 5 card as well. So now player 2 is going to have to draw 5 cards, and he's going to lose his turn. So now player 3 is going to go ahead and go, and let's see what he's got. He's going to look to see what he has, and he decides he's going to go ahead and reverse direction. So he does so, and now it's going to go back to player 2, and they're going to reverse sides. And so that's kind of how the game works. So now let's go ahead and say it's my turn, and let's say if player 3 comes after me, and I go ahead and play this. So now player 3 is going to have to go ahead and draw the color that I choose, the orange color. So he'll draw, that's not orange, that's not orange, that's not orange. So he's going to keep on drawing until he grabs an orange card, and then once he gets one, he'll go ahead and stop. And again, he's going to lose his turn. Now, whenever you get to 1 card left in your hand, you have to call out Uno. If you don't, and someone busts you, you're going to have to go ahead and draw 2 cards. So anyway, once somebody ends up going out and they basically have no cards left, let's just say the color was red, for example, and I only had this card. It's a wild, so I can go ahead and play it. I would go ahead and play it, and then I would be out. Now, any kind of draw command cards that are the last cards played, the next player is going to have to go ahead and draw those cards. Now, once somebody goes out, everybody's going to go ahead and make their score, and this is how they're going to go ahead and score the points depending on what they have. Any number of cards that you have are going to be the face value, and then all of these cards, if they have any of these in their hand, they're going to be worth this amount of points. And the game basically is going to go into 500 points,